Good evening or afternoon or morning or whatever you might be watching this video. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. This is the Occoquan Swimming 2025-26 season startup introduction to kind of get caught up with some things with Occoquan Swimming, what to expect this year, and hopefully get us going on a very positive note here in the coming days. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy lives to listen in and take an interest in what your kids are doing here. My name is Aaron Dean. I'm the CEO and head coach of Occoquan Swimming, and I'm honored to be here to present the details of the upcoming season and the direction of the program. If along the way you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll also be around all weekend long as well throughout the season to answer any questions that could come up that aren't answered here, or if you would like any more details on things. Tonight, during this presentation, I'm going to do a quick overview of some things, big picture, why, when, and how, a little bit of the events that are coming up, some policies and procedures to highlight, a little bit about volunteering, fundraising, and then the process to register for USA Swimming, and a little bit of other stuff to get us all going. The mission and vision of Occoquan Swimming are centered around helping each individual learn and grow as an athlete and person in a supportive, safe, fun, and a challenging environment. Our decision-making process as an organization is centered on ensuring we're fulfilling these goals every day. We look back at these words here that were given to us by the predecessors of this organization, and we feel very strongly that they're very strong in us moving forward as an organization. Occoquan Swimming is a 501c3 organization. Each parent of a year-round competitive swimmer with an account in good standing is a member of the organization. The board of directors oversees me as the CEO and the overall organizational intent. I, as the CEO, oversee the daily operations, including the coaching staff and the means of accomplishing the strategic plans of the organization. Coaches and other support staff are assigned duties within the administration of the team, as well as regular coaching leadership, and it's all to provide a positive experience in the swimming world for your child. Why choose Occoquan Swimming? You know, we highlight these throughout the course of bringing in new members, but we are a nonprofit organization with a mission to serve our members and the sport of swimming. We have an amazing coaching staff that you'll meet this weekend or throughout the course of the season and get an opportunity to work with. We have a very distinct pathway for athlete development to reach the highest potential in the sport. We have an amazing support group that helps us with providing our own swim meets, but also be able to go to meets and provide meaningful opportunities to compete throughout the area and throughout the country. We have great facilities, including here at Central Park Aquatic Center, and obviously our safety and support measures that are all set up. And we have amazing loyal partnerships with parents, organizations outside of our reach here as well. At the top of it all is our parent members. Occoquan Swimming is a partner with each of you, and we ask that you partner with us to provide an amazing swimming experience for your kids. This is a reminder that we can't do it alone. We need your help, we need your support, but we also need you actively out there helping us to not just help your swimmer, but provide an environment for them and an environment for the whole organization to be positive through being an advocate, supporting as a volunteer, and certainly there's different levels of jumping into the organization that I realize that not everybody can dive fully into the program and be fully immersed in everything we have going on. So we kind of break it down. And the minimal is we just want everybody to get a little bit wet, get into the program and be able to support your athlete, and also the program around your athlete to be able to help them grow and operate throughout the course of the season. So our first step is we hope that everybody jumps in at least this level. Bring your child to practice on time and regularly. Attend swim meets and activities. Keep up with the news of the team, read the emails, check your online account, stay up to date with those things. Ask if you need help or are confused or concerned about something. Follow the code of conduct, pay your bill in a timely manner, and purchase a team suit. So this is kind of the basics of what we're looking for folks coming in at a volunteer level, or at least activity level within the organization. Next level is knee deep, jumping in a little bit deeper or wading out there a little further. And this is for volunteering for swim meets, being an active recruiter and promoter of Occoquan swimming, maybe purchasing some extra team gear, team jacket, racing suits, extra apparel, and fundraising when given the opportunity. The next level is being waist deep, which is getting a little bit more involved. And we'll talk a little bit about this, and we'll have some representatives from our officiating crew at the meetings coming up. But becoming an official or certified volunteer does require a background check for anybody that's working with youth athletes. We require background checks and athlete protection training. Be a lead volunteer for a swim meet committee. Organize swim group socials. Find companies that would cooperate with Occoquan Swimming as well. We do have 3 key positions that are open, 4 really with being an official. We always have a need for tons of officials, and like I said, we'll be talking about that quite a bit over the next few days. But we also have positions open specifically for 1 or 2 people to take over, and these come with some financial benefits at the end of the season to return to the program. If you'd like to have information about this, I'll send out an email with an opportunity for you to request that and let you know all the details of that. But being a hospitality lead means that at swim meets, they provide hospitality to the volunteers and the coaching staff that are at the meet from sometimes early in the morning until later in the evening, making sure they're fed with meals and drinks and things like that. It's a fun position. It does take some pre-planning work outside of the competition time, but you usually have a pretty good number of volunteers to help you on the meet days. Concession lead. This is a new thing that we're trying to add this year, is be able to provide concessions to the members or to the participants of our competitions throughout the swim meets. And so we need someone to head that up if we are going to do it. And then the last one is volunteer coordinator, and that's just helping to encourage people to volunteer, but also keeping track of some of their hours or some of their times that they're coming in to help out, so that we have someone that can kind of lead that and be an advocate for those that are volunteering. Next is getting a little bit deeper, and this is pretty deep in here with being involved, becoming a board member, becoming a chairperson of a committee, leading a fundraising efforts, or again, being a spokesperson for Occoquan Swimming outside of just the normal advocating for the program. And then full on in, everybody in, this would be our swim coaches, our administrators, board president that are involved with a lot of the daily operations and making sure that this team is organized and moving forward in a positive manner. We do have a volunteer incentive policy. So we heard from members last year that there was a need for a volunteer policy. Not to necessarily force everybody to volunteer a lot more, but to encourage more people to volunteer. A lot of times when we show up to swim competitions, it's the same people that volunteer all the time, and their requests or the messages that we were receiving were about, hey, we'd like to share the wealth a little bit and get more people involved. So we are changing this into it's more of an incentive policy. Every swim meet that we host will have a $15 surcharge for swimmers that are entered. For each session that you have a swimmer participating that you volunteer, you'll be given a credit of $15 to pay for this entry fee. If you have multiple swimmers in the same session, you'll only need to volunteer for that one session to cover the entry fee for all those swimmers. But if you have swimmers in multiple sessions, a volunteer shift will be needed for each session to cover the $15 for the swimmers, if you so choose. There's no requirement. This is meant to be an incentive to make it a little bit less financially, a little less of a financial obligation to participate in the swim meets, and just realize that these are based on entries for the meet. If your swimmer doesn't show up, there is still an entry fee that would be charged unless you give us notice in a timely manner, especially for our hosted meets, that you won't be there. Becoming an official with USA Swimming is a great opportunity to get involved with competitive swimming. No experience is necessary. So, but I know a lot of you come from summer programs or community programs. that already have a little bit of experience in being an official. It's a very easy transition from what you did last summer to becoming an official. Because we're a nonprofit organization and USA Swimming is a nonprofit organization, your hours could be a benefit to you with the tax deductible volunteer hours on your taxes to say you're volunteering for a nonprofit organization. There's a family incentive up to $500 off the next year's tuition. You meet lots of other amazing parents that are involved with their children swimming and be able to converse with them throughout the course of swim meets and such. When you get to higher levels, there's free travel to national level meets. You have leadership opportunities, and there's different types of being an official. There's a wet side, which is being on the pool deck, walking along and starters and all that kind of stuff. And there's a dry side. There's computer stuff and administration stuff to get involved with. So depending on what you'd like to do, if you want to be out there active on the pool deck, there's things for you. But if you'd rather be in front of a computer and helping to figure out the results of the events and the communication of the timing system and such, there's also opportunities for you. We do have a tradition, and this is one of the reasons why we're able to host as many meets as we do. We have a tradition of having a very large and active officiating crew. In fact, we get recognized quite a bit with Potomac Valley Swimming with the ratio of officials to athletes that we have within the program. And this also allows us to run our own competitions. We don't always have to go to other pools or other meets where they may not be run well, or there may be limitations on the events offered, things like that. This gives us some flexibility to be able to provide for our athletes what they need throughout the course of the season. We're always welcoming new officials, so even if you don't start right away here this month, we'll have some meetings and such set up. There will be opportunities throughout the course of the season to jump in midstream and get caught up pretty quickly. But bottom line is, if you're going to have summer at the meets, it's a great way to get involved, be fed free food and drinks, and be around a great group of people, get to know them, and have open up opportunities for tuition credits with OCCS, as well as travel opportunities, tax deductions, things like that with USA Swimming. Our officials chair, John Avalos, will be around all weekend to promote and answer any questions. And certainly, if you have any other questions, you're welcome to pass those on to me as well. We have a board of directors, and the 5 members that are listed here are currently acting as our board of directors for Occoquan Swimming, and their role is not a daily or active role in operations, but it is to make sure that we are fulfilling requirements as a nonprofit organization, and providing us with policies of the team and under my leadership to make sure that we're following through with those policies and adhering to all of the requirements as a nonprofit organization. In the coming weeks, we're going to be providing details about updates to the organization's bylaws and corporate documents. For right now, we just encourage you all to stay informed and actively participate in this process. I know as a new member, sometimes it can be a little intimidating, and even as an ongoing member, sometimes you poo-poo it and just say someone else will take care of all this governance stuff and administrative stuff. But we're asking that everybody gets involved when we seek out your assistance. So watch for an invite. We will have a live/virtual meeting that'll be scheduled and held in the coming weeks with more, and we'll provide much more details about what that meeting will be about in the coming time. But for now, just watch for that. And then in addition to that, we are looking for a new or additional members to the board of directors, or additional nominations to the board of directors. So if anybody is interested in being a part of that, working with a great dedicated group of parents that meet to make sure that we're living within the nonprofit organization's charter, please reach out to me by email, and we'll put you on a nominating list. If you know someone good, talk them into it, send me their contact information, and be happy to let them know what that entails. I'm super honored to get to work with an amazing group of coaches. The coaching staff is the heartbeat of this team. Well, they all bring different personalities and expertise, We all work together to make sure this team is operating at the highest level of success and growing better every day. No matter who is coaching a specific group, all the coaches take an interest in the entire program and making sure that they have the successful season, but also the means to making sure the kids are taken care of with what their needs are throughout the course of the season as well. We have each coach has specific roles that they help with administratively. However, we do have two primary people that will be in direct contact with you to help with certain things. Hannah Dean is the billing or payment processing administrator. Will help with memberships, account maintenance with Team Unify, things like that. Her email address is there, and she also takes phone calls relatively quickly. If you email her and ask her the question, she can respond to you relatively short time. Kelly Call is one of our coaches, but she also helps with general membership questions. She's also around. You'll see her this weekend helping with apparel and team gear as we get ready for the startup stuff. She also does some of the fundraising things and such. So reach out to her with any questions that are specific to that. All this is to support the ambitions and goals of the kids that we call swimmers. Every decision we make is a reflection of the swimmers' needs before all else. And whether you're a member, a coach, a board of directors, or administrator, every decision we make is a reminder that we are here for the kids. We're here for them to have a great season and a great career in this sport, developing into great people. So hope you're able to join us and continue on this effort that we've been doing for several years. USA Swimming several years ago came out with a athlete development model, and they basically told all the teams, they said, hey, if you work on these 4 things and go through a hierarchy of learning each aspect within the sport of swimming, by the time your athlete is an 18-year-old or 17-year-old or 19-year-old or whenever they maximize all of the different things that are in this developmental model, they should have all the tools they need to be an elite level national, international competitor. Doesn't mean they're all going to get there. Doesn't mean that just by getting this stuff means you're going to become that elite level athlete. But it does give notice that these things are just as important as the basics, as learning how to swim and train and working as hard. And we take it very seriously that we aren't just training the athlete inside, but we are training a person to be the best they can possibly be in whatever their ambitions are, in or outside the pool. And there's 4 aspects of this. We call them as 4 C's. There's competence, which is a lot of the things that you would consider regular swimming. You know, how to swim a certain stroke, how to do a certain test set. You know, some of the dryland things we do, nutrition, your physical skills of fitness, things like that. Character, and we talk about this a lot with youth sports. Is that what are we really trying to help the kids build? And it's championship behavior, their work ethic, self-discipline, time management. Those are things that come because they swim, but they also come because the coaches, we take time out of our practices to teach about these things and the connection of the practice to what will end up becoming a character trait. Confidence, same thing. You know, we want athletes and our children to be confident in what they do. So learning how to manage peak performance, that stress that happens at a big swim meet or whatever it might be. Learning how to self-talk, learning how to visualize. All those things are super important, and we take action to make sure the kids have opportunities to learn that, not just through the daily process, but also through lessons that we give. And a connection, commitment and loyalty to teams, to their teammates, even to their family, and learning how to have a connection all the time with things and be able to advocate for themselves, advocate for others, serve others in ways that they never knew that were possible. When you're looking at aqua swimming, we have several levels within the program. And in a nutshell, this is kind of a diagram that shows where kids start ideally and then where they end up at the end. There's a lot of different entry points to this program, though. Even if someone starts with us not at 6 years old or 7 or 8 years old, there's a lot of different entry points to this. But ideally, this is the kind of the levels and how they work within our program, all the way up to hopefully allowing kids to be a part of a college program eventually. Again, another little diagram similar to the previous one, from first grade up to sophomore year of high school. This is the progression that we're trying to work with the kids. There's different levels at each one of these ages that are age appropriate. And then with the athlete development model, there's 6 different levels, and this is where they kind of reach into different aspects and getting to become more complex as the kids get up. And no matter if they are in the national training group or a senior group, these lessons at level 6 are still being taught. They're still part of what we're trying to teach the kids to again, become the best they can possibly become. Our placement of swimmers in the groups, for the most part, everybody is placed in a group right now based on either an assessment that was given, previous season achievements, or something that was possibly just guessed by parents. But the first few days here, as we go through practices, we'll still be reassessing just to make sure that there's a good connection with all of the groups and the kids and where they are in their career. We do have a long-term development focus on all of the groups to provide in an effort to provide success opportunities, but in the current moment, but also the long-term development. We also want to stretch the limits, provide those failure opportunities, which is where some of the real growth happens there. And then we do have an appropriate timeline that we are looking at each swimmer and making sure that they're given what they need at that particular time. Most of the groups that we have are 2 to 3 year levels. Generally, some of the groups we ideally would like to have them be 2-year groups where they have 1 year to follow and 1 year to lead. But sometimes there's also a year of growth that needs to happen in there, depending on where they are in their development previously coming to that particular group. There are a number of factors that we take into account when we advance kids to the next level. The details, you can see them in the group outlines and ask your swimmers coach what's next. These will also be outlined in the parent handbook that will be coming out shortly. But in general, to advance to the next level, there's generally going to be a skill level that they need to have, a fitness level that they need to have, some swimming acumen or understanding of what the sport is, an attendance record of being able to attend regular practices. We don't want to move somebody up into another level that has 6 practices available if they have not maximized the previous level that only has 4 practices available, for example. Performance results, making sure that they have some opportunities to race and show those results there, the connection with their practice work. Accountability, team chemistry, and showing some leadership traits. Again, working on the athlete development model, we're trying to make sure they have some of those skills before they get into certain levels so that they can catch up and be able to intertwine in what that level is intended for. Swim meets. Our philosophy in competition is to provide opportunities for swimmers to experience all the USA Swimming events so they are ready throughout their career, throughout their career. So the ideal is that we want the athletes to be able to swim every event, not just to specialize into 1 or 2 of their favorite events, but to experience all of it, because we think that there's a lot that they can gain from having more than just 1 stroke or two events that they love. We start each season with what we consider the foundation meets, and then we progress into more championship style or bigger meets where the kids have an opportunity to qualify and go to have bigger, larger competitive venues and such. So our foundational meets, and this will be the startup of what we start with here in October. Most of these meets are until we get to the Fall Fest and such. But our goal here is to get a variety of events done. For the ideal swimmer that knows how to swim all 4 strokes and can swim all the different distances, That means being able to do a 50, 100, and a 200 of each of the 4 strokes, a 500 freestyle, a 400 IM, and even an opportunity to, well, 200 IM, 100 IM as well, and even opportunities from the 1,000 and the 1650. So we use this as a baseline to kind of start the season and gain experience. And then we get to the November Fall Fest, which is our tune-up. It's a regular style meet where kids get to choose, and the coaches will have a lot to say in what events they should fill in or what they should do. But it's an opportunity to kind of test everything out and re-swim some things from earlier in the fall. And then we go into our championship meet where we want to focus on our best events and move forward from there. So after the fall series of meets, many of the rest of the meets have specific criteria for them. And we'll outline this, and your coaches will outline this as the season progresses, so you know what events your summer should be going. But a lot of times they're based on either qualifying times, could be based on their attendance at practice, could also be on the level or the practice group they're in, and age criteria, things like that. So just watch the criteria, make sure you're signing up for the correct events. And the coaches are here to support and make sure that the kids are all set. I'm not going to go to this in detail. The full fall meet schedule is listed here, and I'll go through each of these slides slowly a little bit, but I'll let you pause and rewind and all that kind of stuff. But it'll also be in a number of ways posted throughout the website and such, so no need to memorize it here. But some of these meets are 1-day meets, some are 2-day meets, some are 3-day meets. So just keep an eye on the exact dates of things, and the full event lineup will be coming out shortly with what events are offered at each one of these meets as well. Some of the winter and spring meets are pending, but this is where they mostly stand. Mostly meets from here out have specific criteria to qualify. So just keep an eye on some of that. And then we get to the long course competitions that start in April this year, and get an opportunity to swim in a 50-meter pool for those that are willing to stick around for the summer. And our last couple of meets there, they still haven't put those details out just yet. Other team events, these will be specific to your groups mostly. But there may be some full team opportunities as well. But group social events, combined group practices, breakfast socials, things like that. Your coaches will announce those and be able to provide details on when and where and how and all that kind of stuff. We also have an awards and recognition event that we normally hold in the spring, and it's generally the Saturday before Mother's Day for what we're looking at for this year as well. Facilities, Occoquan Swimming, we have some great facilities. We have Central Park Aquatic Center. It's our main location, offers lessons, courses, clinics, memberships, rentals, and a whole lot more. Much of our operations are based out of Central Park, which is also known as Occoquan Swim Academy. So if you ever have business things to do, generally between the hours of 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock are the best times to get any answers there. But otherwise, that's where the coaches and staff are generally located throughout the course of a regular work week. Lake Ridge Swim Club is our newest acquisition, offers us summer access to pool time, entry-level connections within the area. Chin, Dale City, Colgan High School, and Freedom Center are the other pools that we only offer a portion of practice groups at each, and depending on what groups are there, we just rent a piece of the pool for our particular swim practices. Each facility has different entrance requirements or procedures, so watch for what each pool asks. As a basic process, though, practice time is the time that the swimmers enter the water until they exit the pool. So when you see a practice that starts at 6 o'clock, that 6 o'clock time is not the time to just to show up. It's the time that the group is meant to start. It's the time that the coaches are 100% engaged with the kids that are there, and they're starting to practice procedures right then and there. So please arrive with time to change, prepare and be in water ready about 5 minutes before the start of the practice time. And just realize that places like Freedom, even Colgan, have a little bit of of a walk to get to from the car to the pool deck. So make sure that you keep that or take that into account as you're planning your arrival times to be there on the pool deck. Some groups have a pre-practice stretching prep as much as 15 minutes prior. Your coaches will talk about that with a little bit of body activation before they get in the water. So keep that in mind. If you see your group starting to swing their arms around and do some jumps and things like that, just have your swimmer go join them and get ready for the next steps there. There's also groups that have dryland work, which is pulled on the pool deck, or it could be in one of the weight rooms at Central Park or in a side room at Colgan. Again, just arrive in time for those so that you take advantage of those opportunities for those specific groups. Swimmers should have their training gear every day. That's going to be a wet bag, a mesh bag that'll have fins and kickboard and paddles and pull buoy or whatever is specific to your group. They should have that with them at all times when they arrive to the pool deck. And the coaches will let them know what gear they need for the practice time, but generally having it all there all the time is ideal so that there's no question and kids can keep up with certain things that make the swimmers go faster, or they get held back with things that make them go slower, but it's all in an effort to keep the group doing the same thing. With that being said, make sure you put your names on all your gear. And one of the first responsibilities that we're trying to teach the kids is to be very responsible with that gear. Know where they put it during practice and make sure they put it right back in their bag and bring that bag with them after practice. I can tell you after the first 2 weeks of practice time at Central Park especially, how many leftover snorkels and fins and goggles and caps and things like that show up. And if it doesn't have a name on it, it's hard to find the person that it belongs to. So please put your name on everything with a nice dry or permanent marker, so there's no issues there. Practices that are longer than an hour, swimmers should have a water bottle with them just so that they can keep their energy up throughout the course of the practice. Parents are welcome to come and watch practice at any time. The facilities other than Central Park, make sure you check in with the front desk to let them know you're a parent of an Occoquan swimming member. At Central Park, we just ask that you refrain from sitting in the areas that swimmers will be setting their gear, which is the bleachers on the pool deck, or where coaches will be having meetings. So we ask that you either be upstairs in the mezzanine or out in the bistro area, but not directly on the pool deck. To potentially be in the way of the swimmers and coaches. We ask that you don't try to coach or communicate with your swimmer during practices unless it's an emergency. The biggest thing here is just to make sure that you're staying out of the way of what the coaches are trying to teach. A lot of times when there's a parent trying to send hand signals or trying to communicate with their athlete during the practices, it detracts from what the coaches are trying to inform them with, or with the coaches being able to try to observe the kids and see what's going on. So please don't try to communicate with your swimmer unless there's an emergency or unless there's something that you certainly need to step into, but please don't interrupt the practice. Please come to the facility to pick up your swimmer at the conclusion of practice or have a specific time for them to get dressed and get in and out of the facility on their own. A little bit about this. First of all, make sure that you have a plan. Places like Freedom Center, there's a lot of distance between the pool deck and getting out to the parking lot. If you have a young swimmer, ideally meeting them at the pool deck to walk them, out to the car. That would be the ideal. But otherwise, just make sure you have a clear plan for your athletes. As soon as the kids are off the pool deck, they're no longer the coach's responsibility. So they'll wait there and kind of see where the kids go. But from there, they usually have something else that they have to get themselves to for practicing or for coaching or other obligations. Drop out pickup. Don't wait in the fire lanes for your swimmer to exit the building. Park and either wait for your swimmer to come to you in a regular parking spot or go into the building and walk them to your car. Please drive very slowly and in one direction at Central Park. We like you to go in a circular motion, staying to the right of the median at all times, so that there's a nice flow of traffic there. We used to have lines and arrows on the ground. Those are no longer there, or you can't see them very much. But just try not to have a two-directional traffic, especially when it gets dark and it's hard to see kids coming and going. Always watch for cars and people very carefully. Hold the hands of young kids and encourage them not to run in the parking lot or jump out between cars into the driving area. Unfortunately, we do share the parking lot with another organization that parks there, it's been reported that sometimes they drive a little bit fast. We're working on alleviating that or stopping that, but in the meantime, please take extra caution to make sure your kids are safe and you're safe in a parking lot. Handicap spots or fire lanes, unless you have a permit for those or you have a fire truck, please stay out of those. Again, there's plenty of parking spots there, and I realize that sometimes you have to walk a little bit, but we're trying to keep some order in the parking lot for everybody to be able to use it. We don't control the other facilities we practice at, so they're generally going to be adults in a locker room with the minors getting changed. Our recommendation is to have a process outlined for your swimmer to get changed quickly and discreetly, or just dry off, cover up, and go home is the ideal. Is that not to worry about going into the locker room with knowing that there's strangers there that have no background checks and things like that. At Central Park or Occoquan Swim Academy, we're bound by the USA Swimming policies of discouraging the mix of adults and minors in the locker room at the same time. If you need to help your swimmer get changed, we encourage you to use the family changing rooms and not the locker rooms. With that being said, because we are a public use facility, there's not a rule that says you can't go into the locker rooms. Only that we discourage it. And then if you do, you should have someone else with you so that there's a double blind and anything that's going on can be observed by another adult as well. Overall, swimming provides a lot of fitness development and skill building. However, there are things that we know swimmers need in order to help offset some of the things that swimming does to a body, whether it's mobility or offsetting some strength and balancing the strengths. We do help coordinate and incorporate dry land program or land work, if you will, at every level to help with this prehabilitation, the flexibility, mobility, and then the traditional strength training and cardio needs at each level as well. The progressions that we have are build programs. We encourage our kids to do a lot of other sports and get involved with things, to learn different modalities, whether it's gymnastics or dance, running sports. So we don't have a specific time set up outside of the practices. We will do some introduction of some core exercises or some stretching and such, but generally speaking, we're looking at the build program as the opportunity to just swim, and assuming that kids are involved with other sports as well. The grow programs, we introduce some basic body motions, core stability, a little bit of mobility exercise to prepare the growth or prepare for practices and meets. But again, we continue to encourage participation in other sports or activities to help those fitness gains and get some general athletic movements. Our Excel programs, Age Group 1, Age Group 2, Pre-National, offer a dryland program that progresses from body weight specific exercises to using modalities such as stretch cords, a little bit of weights or other resistance to build more strength while advancing the stabilization of muscles, the mobility of the athletic movements and joints. Our lead programs, Senior Select and National Training Group, have a very integrated dryland program where they're working on land for a couple of 2 or 3 hours a week, and this is based on USA Swimming's guidelines, as well as a lot of research that's been put out there about making sure that athletes are not just good swimmers, but they're agile, they're strong, They have the stability in their joints and such to be able to withstand the stress of swimming, and they're mobile. They can manipulate their bodies in ways to be able to perform at an extremely high level. Couple of policy things. Safe Sport certification. We do take pride. We are a Safe Sport certified organization, recognized program, and we want to continue to be that. So we ask that at least one parent or per family take the Safe Sport adult course. And we do ask that the athletes, especially if they're traveling, to take the 13 to 17-year-olds, optional Safe Sport youth athletes. Athletes that turn 18 years old, this is a requirement that they have to take before they can go to swim competitions or be a part of any practices. So if you have an athlete that's going to be turning 18 in the next 12 months, the sooner you take it, the better. I think you take it up to 3 months in advance to make sure that you're in compliance and can be entered into swim competitions. Minor athlete abuse prevention policies. In order to ensure you as parents are aware, just want to present a few of these things. This will also be sent out on an email to take a look at. This policy is meant to ensure that every interaction between an athlete and an adult person, whether it's an adult athlete, an adult coach, or an adult parent acting as a timer, as a meet marshal, as a official, all understand that there's a responsibility that the adult has to make sure that the interactions are observable and open and don't have any sort of connotations to them that could be considered abuse to a member. A few of the policies. Observable and interruptible meetings and interactions, open and transparent meetings and interactions. Electronic communication must include a parent or an adult in all communications. And it must include an additional parent or an adult. So if a coach is going to communicate with any athletes that's a minor, they must have another parent, ideally the parent of that child, on the communication at all times for any communications that happen. So if you find out that your coach is interacting with your swimmer and they don't have you as an adult there or another coach on there, please ask them to clarify what this policy, or why they aren't following this policy. Social media connections not permitted other than following the team's designated social media. So a coach should not have a follower that is a youth athlete on the team. Youth athletes can follow the team's social media, but not individual coaches' social media pages. Bullying prevention. Bullying of any kind is unacceptable at Occoquan Swimming and will not be tolerated. Bullying is counterproductive to team spirit and can be devastating to a victim. OCCS is committed to providing safe, caring, and friendly environment for all of our members. If bullying does occur, incidents will be dealt with promptly and effectively. Everyone has a requirement to report any known bullying situations by telling a coach, board member, or athlete member. We have a lot of policies, and these are obviously on our website, but also will be highlighted, a few of them at least, in the parent handbook that'll be coming out here shortly as well. USA Swimming membership. Every athlete that plans to swim in a competition is required to be a part of USA Swimming. There's a process that every family will need to follow or need to do within USA Swimming. Don't start this process until I provide the instructions and the link to do it. Returning members will not need to complete this registration this year. OCCS will bulk renew the athletes in December. So if you're a returning athlete that was part of USA Swimming last year, you do not have to re-register. I will do that somewhere in the middle of December. New members, you will need to complete this before the first swim meet. And again, watch for the email to be sent because it has a specific link that connects you to Occoquan Swimming to register for. The cost for new swimmers or new members, it is separate from the USA or from the OCCS registration. If you're only going to swim a couple of meets or aren't sure your kid's going to swim in too many meets, you can start with the flex membership, but we encourage everybody to do the premium membership that will cover for the entire year all the competitions as far as the having a liability insurance, but also being a part of USA Swimming there. Several years ago, one of our national training group athletes kind of described our team as family. And one of the cheers that we have is bringing everybody together and encouraging the teamwork that we have, but also the connection we have as an extension of a family. We do encourage a family atmosphere within our approach. We want to bond through relationships and cooperation. And we certainly understand, as everybody here I know understands, no family is perfect, no team is perfect, but we stay connected through shared values, a shared vision, and relentless pursuit of helping each other become their best. We feel pain when one of the team mates fails. We certainly feel excitement when someone succeeds. And one of our visions for this year is to bring everyone together stronger, showing support for each other and caring for the success and longevity of the team. So welcome to the team and your swim family here this season and for life. A couple things that are coming up next. Tomorrow, we start off with the group meetings. You'll get an opportunity to meet with your swimmer's coach and get some of the details specific to your group. There'll be gear pickup at Central Park Aquatic Center after those meetings. And then these notes will be available online. We'll send them by email here shortly once I post the video. And certainly don't hesitate if you have questions with anything. The group meeting schedule, again, Advanced and Medley. You've hopefully by now signed up for one of the spots. And those are 30-minute spots to sign up for. The meeting starts at the time you signed up for. So 5 o'clock tomorrow, we start up with the first group coming in. And we'll welcome you in the bistro area, which is just the entrance there, right that overlooks the shallow pool. And then we'll bring you back to the weight room for a meeting. I'll introduce the coaches. The coaches will talk about some of the things that are happening this year. And then you get an opportunity to pick up all your team swag and purchase any items, things like that you'd like to on top of those things. If you miss any of these times or not able to be there during your specific time that you've either signed up for or for these specific age groups that are coming in, there'll be an open pickup time on Sunday only from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you don't pick up before this weekend or by the end of this weekend, generally speaking, you're not going to be able to get your stuff until October. We kind of retrofit Central Park to be able to spread all this stuff out and put it all out there. And once this weekend is done, we got to pick it all up so we can operate our regular operations. With that being said, I'm going to certainly try, and I will try to get things to people if they need it. I'll be there at the facility in the evenings. So if you do miss out, we'll do what we can, but just realize that we want you there this weekend to meet the coaches, but also to pick up as much of this stuff as possible. Thank you again for your time watching through all this. Appreciate all that you guys are and what you bring to the program, and we look forward to an amazing season coming up. And I will see you at the meetings very shortly.